Hello, I'm Matthew Knott, news editor of StudyTravel magazine, and this is editorial assistant Clarissa Waldron. Welcome to the very first StudyTravel news broadcast on the 30th of March 2017. The headlines this week.
Fidele data shows an increase in Spanish language market.
EALC workshop focuses on digital marketing and student experience.
PGL to open 2 new centres.
British Study Centres partners with NC UK.
And Language Gallery offers new English for Work course.
The number of Spanish language students at member schools of Fidele, Español and España increased in 2016 to more than 97,000, according to data released by the Federation, the 4th consecutive year of growth.
With more schools completing the survey last year, Fidele said an extrapolated figure for the same number of schools in 2015 equated to a 5.1% increase. Student weeks, meanwhile, increased by 1.3% from the extrapolated 2015 figure to 309,000 last year.
Commenting on the growth, Ana Cozar, director of Fidele, told StudyTravel magazine that Spanish was generally becoming more integrated into educational systems worldwide, which has a positive effect on the market. She added that Spain is currently stable and safe, which encouraged students to travel. And she said that Fidele and member schools have made a great effort to promote the country.
However, growth was uneven across Fidele's membership. Just over 40% of member schools recorded an increase in business last year, while 35% suffered a decline and 20% had a steady year.
Italy remained the top source country and increased by 9.3% to almost 15,000 students. Germany was the second largest sender, followed by the USA, France and the UK. 14 of the top 20 markets increased last year.
Agents were the most important channel of recruitment for Fidele members in 2016, accounting for 45% of all students recruited.
Anna said that agents have always been important for Fidele, which launched a partner agency scheme last year and has remodelled its annual meeting to give agents an opportunity to learn more about the industry.
In terms of marketing techniques, 70% of reporting Fidele member schools attended international agent workshops last year, while 62 were delegates at agent workshops in Spain, such as Fidele's annual meeting and the StudyTravel Alfie Spain conference.
Digital marketing techniques for language schools and the findings of an extensive student survey were among the topics at the EALC 2017 workshop in Boston, USA last week.
A special panel debate on digital marketing was chaired by himself here and featured Richard Bradford, Managing Director of Disquiet Dog, Walter Dens, owner of Leiden & Dens Intercultural Institute of Languages, Vitaly Radsky, Account Manager at Study Portals, and Benjamin Waxman, CEO of International Education Advantage.
Tips for language travel companies, including using interns to create blog and vlog content, understanding the search landscape to align website content with what students are searching for, and creating client personas and tailoring content to them.
Patrick Pavlakic, Head of Research at Student Marketing, presented the preliminary findings of a survey of almost 5,000 current and former EALC school students. The results examined areas such as student satisfaction, whether they would recommend their school, consumer knowledge of EALC and booking channels. The full results will be released at the end of April.
The EALC 2017 workshop was hosted by ELC Boston, which welcomed delegates to the school for a Wild West themed fancy dress evening. The event also featured a gala dinner and welcome reception at Fenway Park, the home of the Boston Red Sox.
During the EALC AGM, Giorgia Bicelli of Lingua Viva in Italy was unveiled as the new president of EALC, replacing the outgoing Celestine Roland from Galway Cultural Institute. IH Click in Seville, Spain, was also selected as the host for the 2019 EALC workshop.
The number of international students at higher education institutions in Germany increased by 5.8% to 340,000 in 2016, according to data released by the German Academic Exchange Service, or DAAD.
The annual report shows an additional 19,000 international students were enrolled last year, meaning the country is already on the verge of reaching its target of 350,000 students by 2020.
Among the international students that gained entrance qualifications outside of Germany, China was the largest source country with 32,000 students, a 6.6% rise.
India was the second largest source market, followed by Russia and neighbouring Austria and Italy. 17 of the top 20 source markets increased last year.
International students constituted 12.3% of the higher education student body in Germany last year. More than two-thirds of overseas students were enrolled on either bachelor or master's degrees, and engineering was the most popular programme.
Agents have told StudyTravel magazine that they have increasingly found ways to work with Germany's virtually free higher education system, including the promotion of academic preparation and pathway programmes.
UK-based residential activity provider PGL Travel Limited has announced the opening of 2 new centres in Yorkshire and Suffolk, offering outdoor education and ELT courses, bringing its portfolio to 14 locations.
The new PGL location at Newby Wisk Hall near North Allerton in North Yorkshire is a Grade 2 listed mansion house in 30 acres of grounds, formerly the headquarters and training centre for the North Yorkshire Police.
Over the next few months, PGL will be refurbishing the site to create brand new ensuite accommodation for guests and a range of adventure activities, including water sports, ready to open in spring 2018.
In addition, PGL has announced plans for Bawdsey Manor near Woodbridge on the Suffolk coast. The 144-acre estate was formerly the Alexander's College boarding school and has a number of existing buildings and facilities that will be utilised as part of the PGL Adventure and Education infrastructure. It will be open this summer for youth groups and international ELT students.
And finally, the London Hampstead campus of English language provider British Studies Centres, or BSc, has partnered with the NC UK consortium of universities to provide university preparation qualifications.
Under the arrangement, the Hampstead School will be offering NC UK's International Foundation Year, or IFY, business programme for international students from October this year.
Successful completion of the IFY will guarantee progression to one of the NC UK network of 16 universities in the UK. NC UK said the qualification was also widely recognised across the UK, Ireland, Australia and the USA.
The NC UK qualification was launched in 1987 and is delivered in 13 countries as well as in the UK.
For more information on these and other StudyTravel magazine news stories, please visit www.studytravel.network. See you next week.
Goodbye.